Welcome back, bitches.
Hi.
It is past my bedtime.
It's way past.
Oh my God.
Okay. At the current time that it is, I've now been awake for about 15 hours.
Same.
Yikes.
Same.
Yikes.
But here we are.
But we love y'all, so we're here.
And listen, for you 10 loyal listeners, we love each and every one of you.
You motherfuckers, man.
You the motherfuckers.
And then we do this for you.
Okay.
So with that said, welcome back to the shit show known as Two Girls.
No Fucks.
You are.
Ashley Marie.
And I am Katrina. And back to our series of friendships.
Yeah.
As big old adults. What are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about maintaining said friendships.
Okay.
How you maintain friendships. Any recommendations you have for the general public, i.e. me.
Okay. That's fine.
And just, overall.
Okay. Do you want to get into the maintaining piece?
Maintaining friendships as an adult is hard.
Well, I can imagine it's really hard for those of y'all who have babies.
Oh my
because
God, it's
a lot. It's a lot. But that's when having people in your life who have empathy and an understanding of that. So, like, for example, I have a few best friends, and actually all of my best friends have babies. So when it's time to go out and I just want to hang out with them, but they don't have childcare and they have to bring the baby, I'm not going to sit there and bitch about it because I know they're struggling and the person they would call to watch their baby is me. So it's like, I get that you can't have the friendships you would like to because having kids derails that a little bit, or not necessarily derails, but detours it, if you will.
Yeah.
And you just got to get people who understand that and are like, oh, okay. And sometimes maintaining friendships as a whole, whether you're a parent or not. I mean, I saw a meme not too long ago that, what was it? It was like December. And adult friendships are, hey, I miss you. What are you doing in March? Literally, you have to plan
exactly
that far out. And that's okay.
Like, literally,
Honestly,
when anyone asks me to do anything, I'm like, I'm available on Sundays and Mondays. But I also have my children on Sundays and Mondays. All, like, from the moment they open their eyes until the moment they close them.
And then that's that.
On Tuesdays, I work at night.
Yeah.
On Wednesdays, I work pretty much all day. On Thursdays, it's a big question mark. Fridays, forget it. Don't even think
Don't
about
ask me.
it.
But yet, here we are. Shit happens. It is what it is. But in maintaining the friendship, what you want to do or what you could do in order to maintain them. I mean, I have friends who will be at the end of the month and say, hey, what's your next month look like? Here's what my schedule, like, for example, I have teacher friends who are like, hey, I'm out of school now. I got some time. Are you able to hang out? Because I know during the school year,
It's impossible.
it's impossible to hang out with them. And even and I don't want to bug them on the 2 or 3 breaks that they have because they just want to be with themselves. And I get that because they're around little people all day long. So
Exactly.
You were going to say something.
But how do I put this so it makes sense? It makes sense in my brain.
That's fine.
My brain is working on.
That's okay. But if you have something to say and it doesn't sound right, you can fix it.
They're holding themselves accountable. They're saying, I'm not available all the time. So when I am available, I'm going to make the effort to be
That's what adults
in the moment
do.
with you. Not all adults do that.
And I say adults with heavy quotes wrapped
Yeah.
around it. Because just because you are in the adult age range don't mean that you are one. That's just the reality of it. It's shitty, but, it is what it is. You got something heavy.
You posted in your story the other day. Like,
oh, shit. What did
I'm
I
so
say?
sorry if I don't respond to your texts. I'm understaffed.
Oh, yeah, that was today.
That's me every day.
I'm understaffed.
I've been understaffed for 8 years, my guy. Like, we're never gonna fill these positions.
The positions are vacant, and they've been vacant for a long time. And even being understaffed, like, it's just me. And sometimes I'm not even here. Like, mentally,
Exactly.
I'm elsewhere.
Exactly.
So you have to give yourself a little bit of grace with that and understand that those who really rock with you will understand that. Point blank, period.
Like sometimes if you're friends with parents, and I say this as a mom, you need to put in a little more effort than me. I will meet you. Like I will exceed your expectations when I can. But a lot of times it's like Baby Shark going on over here and someone threw something else in the toilet and like it's wash day and I'm about to cry.
Oh my God. I'm so stressed out for you.
Yeah.
You see all this gray hair they have because we chopped the hair off, BT dubs. So the gray is out. And I think
And it's living.
thank you. I think the parts that are starting to turn gray have just officially turned gray by that statement that you just said.
It's giving heavy Andrea right now and I love it so much.
Best compliment ever. When the first person who told me it was Rick, and I was like, oh my God, that's the best compliment ever. Because who doesn't want to look like Andrea?
Bro, Andrea is like the fucking real life goat. Like true story. Like the greatest to ever do it.
She's amazing. But yeah, so when it comes to, and as someone who doesn't have kids, but is friends with those who do have kids, I understand that there's only so much you can do. I will ask you what your schedule looks like weeks in advance. You find a day where, even if your children have an event or something, I'll go and support because I don't want you to feel like just because my kid's doing this and blah, blah. Like, I can be there to support you and your child and hang out with you. Like, all of that is mutually exclusive. I can do that at the same time. And I don't have a problem with that. And I've expressed that to my friends. Like, hey, I can rock with all of you. It's okay. Because I also understand that y'all are a package deal. You know what I mean? So, but with my friends, I get ahead like weeks in advance and what day works, what time of day. We got to account for traffic, childcare, all the things. And that's understandable. And here's the thing. Even with all that planning, and this is my rule in maintaining or part of the reason to maintain the friendships. If you and me are making plans and I reach out to you to say, hey, Ashley Marie, I want to hang out with you, blah, blah, blah. We got a date, this, that, and the third. It is my responsibility the day of to message you to see if we're still hanging out. You don't have to message me to see if we are because it was my
follow-through.
It was my
Y'all
idea.
writing this down? Y'all writing this down? If you're friends with parents, you need to put forth more effort.
But this is just in general.
As friendship as a whole, follow-through is important.
Yep.
If I text you and you leave me on red, you have about 2 weeks. I'm giving you 2 weeks. That's my grace period to you. 2 weeks.
Figure it
After
out.
2 weeks, you better be dead in a motherfucking ditch.
Oh my God.
Okay? You better be dead.
I better turn on NBC and you better be on an episode of Daylight.
My daughter knows how to FaceTime. She just finds the picture of the person that she's like, oh, I know them. Hi.
Yeah.
So you have time.
So it is my responsibility to check in with you either day before or morning of. Hey, are we still hanging out? I am also not opposed to the other person reaching out to me to cancel. Oh, you mean I get to stay at home? Bet. I don't pay all this rent to be outside all the time.
Listen.
Hello.
You're telling me.
So if I can be at home where I have snacks aplenty and a puppy who drives me mildly crazy, not completely, just mildly, I'm good. Like, it's fine. But I think when it comes to maintaining the friendships at this age, we're too old to not communicate. There's a reason why the phrase communication is key is a thing, because it really is. Like, you have to tell the other person.
But it's in every form of relationship. Like,
it's not just special to friendships, it's with everything. But you also have to understand too, like, there are so many. I like to make a reference to The Wizard of Oz, and I always say, like, there's always some shit. There's somebody behind the green curtain. You never know who it is, but the great and powerful is pulling all the strings. We don't know what's happening behind that green curtain. We think it's all great and powerful, and really it's this dusty old white man just pulling a bunch of levers. Like, that's what, and sometimes that's how we present ourselves to the world. Like, we're just doing the best we can with what we have. And you have people in your life who understand that, are empathetic to that, and understanding that, hey, I don't want to waste your time. I'm not trying to have my time wasted, but let's meet somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
You know, sometimes it's 50-50. Not everything is 50-50. As I've gotten older, sometimes you got to meet people at 80 when they only have 20. Like if you have 20% to give and you're giving 20%, guess what? You gave 100% of what you have. And that is with any kind of relationship, friendship, situationship, whatever
it is.
Yeah. So try not to be too hard on yourself.
It's
hard. It's
so
hard. No, I get it. Because people still, we live in a world where I have a love-hate relationship with Amazon. And I say that because Amazon has taught everybody that things come in 2 days when you want them to. When it comes to maintaining a friendship, that's not how that works.
No.
You have to put in work. And people don't know how to do that anymore because
and
we have
don't
devices.
Want to do that.
Yeah, because everything else around us does it for us. Mm-hmm. So why do we have to put in the work? It makes, for that mindset, it makes sense. But in actuality and in reality, it doesn't. You have to put in that work. You have to make that effort. And sometimes, we'll talk about this in the next episode, like when you make the effort so much, sometimes it doesn't always work out.
Nope.
But for the friendships that you have, don't be afraid to like check in with people, because sometimes you don't
Also, don't be afraid to check people if they're acting crazy.
Also that.
Okay?
Yeah.
Again, you have 2 weeks. After your 2 weeks is up, I'm going to give you a light little notice like, are you dead? What kind of funeral flowers would you like? Are you okay? Is there a guest list?
You know what I do.
Okay.
If I don't hear from somebody, so I have one best friend in particular that she is habitual for not responding to anything. And I say, you have a text and a half to answer me or I will show up at your house. And I get a response immediately. Like, I'm okay. Life's just been crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I get it because when I'm with her, she's already tornadic. So I'm not surprised. But I'm checking in on you. I want to make sure you're okay. I want to make sure your babies are okay. I want to make sure you're okay. Do you need anything from me? Because my responsibilities are not nearly as heavy as yours and all that shit. But just checking in on your friends is so important because like you don't have to hang out in order to check in. Like there are too many ways to communicate
for there to be a lack of communication.
Also that everything short of a carrier pigeon. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it.
I think for me, specifically as a parent and as a working parent, I get the fear of missing out. I get heavy FOMO when people are doing things and I like essentially can't be involved because I have to work, I have my kids, I have whatever. So I'm like, oh, I want to be outside like everyone's outside. But really, then I realize very quickly that I'm not an outside person.
No.
I'll get to the sidewalk and I'll be like, this is a lot. I gotta go.
Right.
Like
literally, I saw a meme that said when I'm home, I'm like, oh, I wish I was out. And then me when I'm out, oh God, I wish I was at home.
Yeah.
That's you.
Like I count down the minutes. Like I'm at work, I get to work, and I'm like, okay, it's really good to talk to adults. And after 5 minutes, I'm like,
oh, where's my 3-year-old?
Yeah. Y'all are too much. I gotta go.
It's a lot. But at the same time, you do what you can with what you have, and sometimes what you have is enough. Even though your brain and your anxiety is a goddamn liar telling you that it's not. It is. And for those who get it, they know.
Yeah.
And that's it. And even at this big age, like maintaining friendships, you also, I think I mentioned this last week, like you have the opportunity to pick and choose who you want in your life. Because at this stage, it's about quality, not quantity.
This is true.
So I'm not trying to have some bullshit energy around me just to say like I got friends, like,
or I've been friends with this person for however long.
Who gives a shit? I sure don't, and we'll get into that later. But it's just do what you can. Check in with people that you want to check in with, and I don't know about y'all. So I switched from Apple to Android. Don't come at me. But one of the functionalities on my Android is that I get to schedule text messages. bro, it is game changing. So when I want to text a bunch of people, instead of doing it all at once and then getting lost in the fucking sauce in my messages, it all goes out at different times. So then that gives me space to respond to everybody when they have time to reach out to me.
She doesn't have to worry about that with me, because if I'm not texting her, then I'm sending her memes and reels on Instagram.
I see you.
At some point, I'm like, hi,
and this is what we're doing, and I'm here for
me.
it. No, absolutely not, because I giggle at all the shit you send me. Well, the shit that's funny, we giggle at it.
And then the shit that's serious, we're like, we need
where we add it, we have our own little folder of podcast ideas, because we have so many things to talk about. But listen, we are on a floating dumpster fire. We mention
cesspool
this all the time.
Cesspool.
You know, and we're expected to sleep 8 hours, expected to work 8 hours, expected to have 8 ounces of water 8 times a day. Like, there's so many things to being an adult. And then you got to attend to your kids, or attend to your pets, or attend to your parents, because even at this age, we're parenting our parents. And it's so fucking hard to do that sometimes. I love you, mama. I love you, dad. But my word. So in doing, and then on top of that, I'm supposed to maintain friendships while also keeping a roof over my head, food in my belly. I gotta go work out because dopamine. Yeah. Like, there's so many things to being an adult that if you don't have a core, and sometimes a core is only one person, if that one person will rock with you no matter what, then you have it good. You really do. You don't need a whole bunch of friends, because it becomes real hard to keep track of that shit, honestly.
I believe it.
People have too much information about you. Shit gets out that you don't want to. You don't know who you said what to who. It's too much.
At this point in my life, I have more fans than friends.
And that's what you're supposed to have.
True.
Actually, you're supposed to have more haters than your friends.
I mean, I probably have
Cat Williams said it.
So
he
many haters.
If you don't have 7 haters by the time the summer gets here, like, literally, and
if you don't got nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
Because why the fuck not? But also, like, everybody out here struggling. Everybody got something that they're dealing with. Everybody's got trauma of some level.
Baggage. Something.
Be it in a carry-on or a trash bag. We all have bullshit that we're walking around on this cesspool with. Find your people and hang on to them. That's it. That's all you can do. Because the ones that will ride with you no matter what. And like I said, if you have that, you've hit the lottery. Good. You've hit the lottery. You're good. No worries. What else you got to add to this?
I don't know.
Because
it's like, it's so hard.
It is. And like I said last week, it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't
have to be, but it's like you said, we're now conditioned by these outside, entities that things are supposed to come so quickly and so easily.
Yeah, no.
And we're supposed to put forth so little effort, and we get everything that we want.
No, that's stupid, because we're on that cusp of a generation that knows better. And because we know better, we have to do better. Because that shit, we can't half-ass anything. First of all, as Black women, we have to work 3 times as hard on anything just to get a sliver of what our white counterparts get. So, and that's with everything. Yeah, we know. So,
listen, I can only be so many people's token Black friend. This is too much work for me, okay?
Also that.
Okay.
Also that. It just, it's so much. It's so much. That's really all I can say about that. It's a lot. But if you have your core, then you got it made. Find your core. And if you don't,
those people will find you.
They will. They totally will.
Start taking applications, but with your application, okay? Take a non-refundable deposit, because your time is important.
I ain't got time to be hanging out with 50 people.
No.
I got 11 things to do on my to-do list. I ain't got time for this shit. But yeah, like, just, it's already hard enough being who you are. Don't overcomplicate it by pretending to be someone to be friends with someone. First of all, we too old for that shit. So if you can't rock with me with who I am and all the shit that I bring with my Virgo millennial ass, then then take the next exit. That's all I got to say about that. Because my word, we're all fucking struggling here. All of us are struggling. So be kind to yourself. Find your people. Hang on to them. Yeah.
And this doesn't stick strictly to friendships. Like, because some people deem friendships just with friends. You could have friendships with your family. And, you know, if they're not putting forth the effort.
Absolutely not. You don't need to fuck with that shit. Girl, the way that I can sharpen my scissors with family is something I couldn't do that even just 5 years ago. Today, you know that, what is it? It's that spinning metal wheel and people like sharpen their like swords and shit on it. That's me sharpening scissors and shit. Cut, motherfucker. If you don't have my best interest at heart and you're not meeting me where I'm trying to meet you, then you can keep it moving. That applies especially to family. Because I ain't got time for that shit. None of us do. Like I said, I'm trying to go to the gym, play with the puppy, maintain a relationship with my wife, make sure she's good, make sure I'm good, make sure I'm making this bread. What other hobbies do I want to do to keep myself happy? When's my next Disney trip? All this shit that I'm trying to do while also keeping in touch with friends who, you know, a lot of them don't live here. So, you know, making sure that they're good. And how are you, when shit happens and pops up on the news, like, how are you taking care of your mental health? Because shit is trash out in these streets. Like, what are you doing? Are you breathing? Are you doing what makes you happy? Even if it's just for 5 minutes. Do something.
I'm matching the same energy and maintaining my best interest.
There you go.
That's the motto for 2024.
And there's only 5 months of that shit left, bro.
But I'll carry it into 2025.
I have to.
And then 2026 might be, fuck y'all, it's all about me.
Why wait? Start that shit now.
Nah, because there's 2 people that be like, fuck you, mom, it's all about us. And I'll be like, you're right. I'm sorry.
You can separate the two.
Okay, so it's all about me after 9 p.m. Got it. See?
Okay. See? Yeah. No, and here's the thing. And as a mom, like, I can't compute because I don't know. But for my friends who I have who are moms, I always tell them, like, yes, your kids are a priority, but you have to make you a priority. Because you're no good to them if you're no good to you. And sometimes that means dropping them off at Mima's house and having a day to yourself where you ain't got to hear, ma, mommy, ma. Like, my word, I'd put my head through a wall if that was happening all the time. You know? Sorry, mom. But seriously, like, you have to take care of you. And that's not just within your relationships with your kids, your relationships with your spouse, your relationship with your partner, your relationships with your friends, family, anybody. You kind of have to, like, I saw, and I actually posted this recently, and it's this woman. She's hilarious. She's super ADHD, has like a wicked short buzz cut. She's in a relationship with a girl who actually looks like me, which is a little creepy, but she said that what will live in my head rent-free until I die is that people get hurt. Like, if you don't being selfish isn't selfish. Like, putting yourself first isn't selfish. The only reason why people say that is because you didn't put them first. And then she did this, like, slow lean back in her car seat and was like, whoa. But, like, that's true. You have to put yourself first sometimes in order to be good and recharge your batteries for whatever bullshit happens when we walk out the door. You have to. It's like breathing. It has to be a priority. I know I just threw a lot at you.
I mean, it's easier said than done, for sure.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And as someone who has witnessed folks who have children struggle with that. I understand that it's hard to put your shit at the forefront when this little human needs you now. It's hard. It's really hard.
So hard.
But, and sometimes it's even asking your family members, hey, what you doing in the next couple months? Oh, you got this random Saturday? Cool. I need you to do me a solid. So I need you to take these babies from this time to this time. What are you doing? None of your business. I got to go take care of myself. Otherwise, I'm going to put my head through a wall. And this is what we need to do. Sometimes that's what you need to do.
It works only sometimes, because sometimes people's response to you is, well, you're a mom. You asked for this. I never asked anybody for this. No, nobody. I asked for a puppy the first time, and I asked to go to sleep the second time. Okay?
You see my face? Like, wait. Okay, so those who have that as a response, fuck them. You don't need them. Don't need them.
Like my mom, I picked her up from the airport, and she's like, how are you? And I'm like, exhausted. Like, she's like, are you tired? I'm like, exhausted.
All the time.
She goes, well, it's I was like, I've been tired for 8 years, ma'am. Like, what do you want from me? Well, that's being a mom.
That's trash. Well, let's change that narrative.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
We got to change that narrative because I'm not about that. No, ma'am. We have to find a way to change that. And I know there are parents out there who are trying to do that. And like I said, it's hard because it does take a village to raise these kids. But fuck these kids at the same time.
Yup.
Fuck these kids.
Fuck these kids, bro.
Fuck these kids. My God, they're a mess. Anyways, you got anything else?
No.
Are you okay right now?
Look out for... The best way to describe exactly how I feel right now in life is I am so lonely, and yet I'm always with two people.
Yo. That shit.
You got
Always.
No, I'm dead ass
Always.
serious. I've never been so lonely.
In
I'm
my
family
life.
of 4. Never been so lonely.
In my
That's
life.
the realest shit I've ever heard.
Oh my God. That's the
Like-
quote. There you go. Oh my
That's it.
God.
So
Ugh.
parents, reach out if you're lonely. We're gonna start a support group.
We got to do something.
We'll have fresh fruit. We can talk shit about our kids. No one's gonna repeat anything. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh. But it's okay if you do because these kids need to know. Like,
But it will all be through like a Zoom meeting, so we don't have to leave our house.
okay. Well, then there's that. But I think you motherfuckers need fresh air. So let's get
Yeah,
you
right.
outside.
When we get fresh air, there's one outside eating fucking grass, and you're like, what the fuck, bro? But like, God forbid you're that mom that says, what the fuck to your kid in public, because then people are like, oh my God, bitch, then you watch him. Shit.
Actually, I kind of lightweight like when parents cuss at their kids.
I'm saying.
I like it because, listen, yes, you made the decision to have these kids, but at the same time, these kids need to understand their place in the hierarchy. Like, I didn't ask to be here any more than you did. But guess what? I'm here first. Therefore, my rules are what matter. And I grew up in a household that said, if you don't pay bills, you don't talk shit.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
And point blank, period. So I grew up in Andrea's house until it became our house when I started paying rent. It wasn't just her home. It was our home.
But now let me ask you this.
Tell me.
Some of the stuff that Andrea like instilled in you, do you carry it over to your house
Absolutely.
without knowing it?
Don't be sitting your outside clothes on my bed.
Okay,
First and
so I will catch
foremost.
myself turning the lights off and being like, Ruby, do you pay bills here? Like my dad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
who am I?
I may or may not have said this to my wife when we first started dating and we lived together, and a light was left on, and I fully turned into Andrea and said, are we related to Edison? I can't. I said Edison because that's how old school that is. Like you living around this house, and like we lived with other people, and I was like, oh my God, they living like they never paid a light bill in their life, and guess what? They never have, so they leave shit on, and it's like, oh my God, I can't. But like even other things that my mother has instilled in me, like what we're trying to do now, like just little things like no dishes in the sink at the end of the night. just put them in the dishwasher or hand wash, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, all of Tatum's toys need to be in the toy box so when we wake up, we're not tripping over shit. Like, little things like that. First thing in the morning, if you the last one out the bed, you the one that makes it. Like, and don't let me come back in this room and the bed not be made if you're not in it. You know what I mean? So it's like little things like that. And she's picked up on all my quirks and
it works.
It works. It
So
works.
now your relationship is maintained. Now go try and maintain all the other things that we listed.
Oh my God.
Friends, you
We're
at the
struggling.
bottom of the list. I'm sorry.
I mean, they somewhere in there.
Right
Some
now,
weeks-
y'all
some
are at
weeks-
the bottom of my list because
Some weeks they're at the top, some weeks they're in the middle, some weeks you're not even on the list. And that's okay. It's called balance because you can't be everything to everybody all at once. You are not fucking guacamole. You're not.
and, yet
And
there's
they'll still be
people
my
who don't like
motherfucker who don't-
avocados.
Right. So
What the fuck?
and let those bitter bitches not, you know what? More avocados for me, bitch. I'm okay with that. But no, like, yeah. So that's what I got to say about that.
Yep.
But
So if y'all need more friendship advice, let me know.
we got a whole other episode about some other shit that we will definitely get into. But outside of that, thanks for making it this far into the episode. I mean, if you have made it this far, God bless and
We
kudos to
appreciate
you. Follow us on all the social mediums _ 2 girls no,
No
focus.
focus.
I fucking love saying that every week. It's my favorite.
Like, share, subscribe,
Subscribe.
tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their pastor to preach to the 2 girls no fucks.
No
Thank
focus.
you.
Please and thanks. Thanks to the Bridge Sound and Stage.
And Mertz.
Woo, woo. Killing it on the other side of the soundproof glass. I'm really glad he's got a mic now.
Oh, it's
So
the
glad.
best.
It's so cool.
I'm
'cause
getting used to this.
I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it so much. Quote. I think I have one. I think I screenshot one. Or maybe it's for the next episode. I can't remember.
Is it for the next one?
It's for the next one.
Okay, so we're just gonna leave it as, currently in life, we are the loneliest we've ever been.
And
Yet not alone.
whew, that's heavy. Let's put that in a trash bag and throw it down the receptor. People still have receptors. Is that a thing?
I think old houses still have.
Okay. I mean, we live in New England, so odds are high. There's a couple of them floating around here.
Sure.
Whatever. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you bitches next week.
Bye.
Oh, my heart breaks.
He agreed, so it's like a real thing.